I just finished my What's Up with Linda Perry. And I told you guys to meet me back over here because I've been talking about somebody. I feel like I've been talking about you since we haven't met. And just just so you know, Muthoni Drummer Queen is who I've been talking about all week. And I can't tell you enough how important this artist is to me. The her vocals, her arrangements, the production. You guys fucking rock on the production. It's so unique. It's so powerful. And I can't wait for you guys to get introduced to Muthoni. And I wanted to come on here and introduce her because I just feel like when I talk about people raising the bar, going to a whole other level, this is the artist I'm talking about. It's this type of artist that is going to raise our level of musicality and get the consumer to want more, because when you start listening to her, you're going to want the more from your other artists, because we have to raise the bar. This is an artist that is raising the bar on every aspect of creativity. Muthoni Drummer Queen, how are you doing?
That is such a generous introduction.
Well,
Wow. Thank you, Linda. Wow. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And I'm so happy to be here and so happy to be meeting you and to be hanging out with you. A real life icon, a real life music icon, a woman, boss babe, killing it every way possible. This is so dope.
Well, thank you. It was so awesome to get you, because, when Carrie and I started doing this, it was, we didn't really know what we were going to do. We just started moving forward to put this live stream together, and speaking with you and Oliver and Scott, and this happening was to us was like a major get. It's going to, really make us stand out by the collaborations we're doing on this live stream, and bringing people some very unique music and conversation, and hopefully we'll get all our technology shit together. But I think it's super important. One question I wanted to ask you is about the production, because as a producer, I listen to people's production, and I just want to know more about it, because I find your production so unique, so refreshing. To me, it's like a whole other thing that people are going to start grabbing onto. And I just want to know a little bit about what's happening over there with your team, you and your team.
Wonderful. So I've been making music since 2008. I worked with producers from Nairobi for a few years. And then in 2013, I met my favorite punks. That's GR and Hook, who are on the live stream. And I'd like to take this minute to introduce them. So that's GR and Hook. They come from Lausanne, Neuchâtel. That's in the French part of Switzerland. We got introduced by a mutual friend who was working in Nairobi. So he played me their beats, and then he played them my music. We liked each other. We had a really awkward Skype call with them speaking in mostly French and me speaking in mostly English. But somewhere in that call, we decided that maybe it would be a good idea for me to go to Switzerland and spend some time with them in the studio. And um, that was the beginning of what has then been a 6-year, going into a 7th-year collaboration. The thing that I find so interesting about Greg and Hook is they are fundamentally music lovers, and they have such a wide music palette. And GR, we call him, he's the Jedi master of the crew. He really knows music. He really like knows many generations of music. And he's kind of a jukebox in his head, and he's always thinking about places where we can pull samples and ideas and music theories. And then Hook is he's like the most efficient sous chef you've ever met. He just chops things up, mixes them, and then in like no time, the beat has been flipped. So I think this hyper, really truly musical root of the producers, the beat makers, and then I am the songwriter, and now we're actually doing more together, right? We're able to really share and incorporate each other's ideas. But I think this combination of how Hook hears music, how Greg hears music, and then how I hear music, I think that's what really makes, that's what really flavors the collaboration. But I really think that we should talk to the producers themselves.
Mm.
Hi, guys.
Hi, how are you?
How? Cool. So that's Hook.
Nice to meet you.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, so thank you for the very kind introduction. That's really kind of you. So yeah, I think Mudani told kind of everything about us. I think we also what's really interesting in the production part of the team is that we uh, GR and myself are coming from very different roots. So he's a bit older than me, way older than than me, and so our common root would be hip hop,
Mhm.
and we've been listening to rap like for forever, and but we are from different era of hip hop. I was aware. I've been introduced to hip hop like, yeah, at the end of the 90s, but it was more at the end of the 80s, mid 80s, something like this. Um, so you've seen pretty much everything of of the the hip hop history. So he's way more aware of everything that happened in all the trends that have been there in hip hop, but also is into all the classics. He's a huge Michael Jackson fan. Um, and me, I've been into a French, we call the French pop, with my parents. My father used to listen to a lot of classical music, and rock and everything. So I think we have a pretty wide range of vision about music, and we always been curious about everything and listening to a lot of genre of music, and I guess it's the same with GR. And what's cool is that DQ brought a whole new vision for us in terms of production, because we were when we first met, it was like around 10 years ago, something like this, and we were mainly doing rap, so rap beats, hip hop, like really kind of classic. And when we were introduced to Mudani, it was like, cool, now we got someone who can sing as well. And so it flipped the way we were listening to music, the way we were looking for ideas and influences, because we are European, listening to a lot of American music, and she's African. She also knows rap, and but she can sing. But there was something new to be done at this point. So what what's the African influence that we can bring into music? What's the hip hop part that we can bring into music? The soul part that we can bring into music? Because like a lot of hip hop music has been sampling soul music, all this Black American music. We were trying to mix all the influences to make something really as you said, a bit unique, and what's the standout that can be made here.
Yeah, I think what's to me what really stands out again, besides Muthani, your vocals and your style, your delivery. But yeah, the music, is important because I think that in this era, so much has been done. We all know that, things are just being done over and over and over. But it's where you drop your kick. It's the sound of that kick. It's that ghost kick, the sound of that. It's not following the typical structure of boom tap, Like you guys are actually really creating this very, you know, it's almost melodic. You know, the drum structure has a beautiful melodic landscape and arrangement about it. And then just the simplicity and the choices and the sounds. But really, who's bringing it home is you know, Mathani, the way you're just delivering that tone. It's so rich. It's got like so much great character. So, I mean, again, I feel so blessed to be able to be a part of this and to have discovered or found or been introduced, however you want to say it. It is my dream to introduce the world to you guys, because I do believe you are doing something that people are going to start. You are that thing that comes out and people are going to start copying you. So that will be fun to see how people do their version of what you guys are doing, you know? What's the plan today for the show?
So first, that's really, I accept that. I take that. I say yes to. I say yes, because there's often times when we are in the studio and we're like, yo, this is really, really cool. We really like what we do. And we really feel convinced with what we do. And GR and Hook have really helped me to get out of my comfort zone and to push me to beyond the patterns that I'm used to, say, rapping in, or to consider things differently. And you know, there are times when we are creating music and we really catch a wind, and it feels really divine, the way we work. It's very complementary, and there's a lot of space for everybody's, you know, sort of input. And until GR wants me to record the same thing for the 749th time, but with a little bit feeling. So today we're going to sing Power. I wanna sing you Power, Linda.
Yes.
Yes. So the thing about this song is it starts and starts. Okay, so are you ready?
Yep.
Let's go. You would have us forget, you would have us make it easier, have us regret. You would never say her name, you would have us forget how the mothers pressure feed the sons and daughters caught in torture chambers. Talk about it. Yeah, we've always been great for a long time now, but you always debate for a long time now what a woman should make, what a woman should take, but you never ask a woman what a basic mistake. Naona chenye kitu sitarudi, argue na mapala busybody like you. Wale wanafikiria sindiria ni weakness, better ni speak less, actions more witness. Keep saying not the right time. You keep telling us not the right time. Keep saying not the right time. You keep telling us not the right time. I'm my own fix, I'm my own fixer. Write my own script, write my own scripture. And I'm so sick, getting more sicker. See the whole mix, see the whole picture. Getting loud, getting louder, getting loud, getting louder, getting loud, getting louder, getting loud, getting louder. Power, 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 sisi ndio power. Watoto wa hawa ndio sisi hawa. This time hatuchoki, this time hatuogopi, pesa hatukopi, tena hatusoti. Gumu kunishika kwanza jenga kasibi, mna presha ya kumari batatu jiski. Mtabaki mukicheki, shinda mkidibeti, penye ni nageti, pesa ya kibeti. Ha! Who built the world for us? Who make it work for us? This one for the women who can be for us. Who built the world for us? Who make it work for us? I'm my own fix, I'm my own fixer. Write my own script, write my own scripture. And I'm so sick, getting more sicker. See the whole mix, see the whole picture. Getting loud, getting louder, getting loud, getting louder, getting loud, getting louder, getting loud, getting louder. You would have us regret, You would never say her name, you would have us forget. You would never say her name, you would have us regret. You would never say her name, you would have us forget. Talk about it. You have never been straight. You keep telling us wait, then you switch up the date to Mechoka. And you tell us we hate one another, you blame us, trying to shame us, to erase us. Oh, you would have us believe there is something too big we can never achieve. Oh, you would have us believe there is something too big we can never receive. Power, y'all.
Lipstick on.
Yes, here, you can take it. This is my son dressed up now as, who you dressed up as?
1 second.
Amazing. So wait, were you running it or were you guys running the music?
No, in fact, I was running it off my phone.
Oh, okay. Dude, it sounds so good. I thought they like hit play over there because it sounded so great.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, yeah. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Of course. Is it Gerard?
GR.
G-I-R?
Just
GR?
G and R.
Or
Just GR.
yeah,
So what's your specialty over there? So tell me what you got. What does Hook do? What do you do?
Basically, I'm a really big fan of sampling. So most of the time, I bring the first ID, and after that, Hook is way better than me in technically. So he does the tricky part of it.
Oh, the cool. Because nothing, the cool would never bother me.
All right, I'm gonna be over there in a second. And then how did you guys meet? Like where did it come together?
so
I know that you guys, well, you and Mathani, like, so Mathani, I know that you sent tracks, but how did it just like, did you know that it was working out?
So basically, our love story began on MySpace. So it's way back in the days. I produced a track for Sweet Rapper, and GR just slid into my DM saying, "Hey, that's a cool beat. Did you it? How did you do it? Sometimes we should hang out and try to make something together." And the dream came true. So thank you, Tom, from MySpace.
MySpace, wow, that's
Yeah.
a long time. So Mathani, I want to know, like, where are you, first of all?
I'm in Nairobi.
Okay.
That's home. Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya. So
Yes.
I'm back in Africa right now.
And where are you guys at?
We are in my studio in Neuchâtel, Switzerland.
Okay, see, and I'm in Los Angeles, well, actually Sherman Oaks. So Muthani, how are you being, like, regarding the current events, whatever you want to call it? I personally think Mother Nature shut this fucking planet down, and you know, the virus is a tool that was used, but Mother Nature shut this fucking planet down. I'm just curious on what your take on is from, you know, from anything, like what, like I'm having a breakdown, honestly, almost every day. And I'm going live and I'm expressing my feelings, but they keep changing because honestly, I keep waking up with different thought process. I'm just curious, like what's going on with you emotionally and what you think is what's happening for you during this time.
So I really do agree with you. I think that Mother Nature was just like, fuck it, enough, guys. And we've earned it. I mean, we've really done a number to the planet. We've been completely, as a human race, we've just been so inconsiderate for everything else that lives on this planet. And even for ourselves, we literally, you know, hustling backward, shooting yourself in the foot. You know, if you destroy the ozone layer, that's the thing that protects you from those ultra rays from the sun, which is going to kill you. So maybe don't put a hole in the ozone. But we don't listen. And corporate interest and money just runs, you know, the whole human experience. And I really do think that I really do think that this could have been avoided, but we worked too hard to get to this point. Just like you, it's been a roller coaster of feelings. So immediately it happened. As I've discovered about my character, when I'm in a situation of crisis, my response is do, solve. Maybe it comes from, yeah, I actually think it's part of it's really my character. I've done a lot of reflecting in this period, and this is not the first time I've behaved like this. So I ran a music festival, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But immediately, it became apparent that Corona wasn't going to be a passing cloud, that this is a problem, this is a pandemic, and it's here to stay. Our thoughts went straight into, what does this mean for the festival? So if we can't run the edition of the festival that we were going to in April, what does that mean for cash flow for the business? What does that mean for cash reserves for the business? What does that mean for the growth plan that we had for the business this year? We run the festival also in Uganda. And so what does that mean for the partners in Uganda? And the first consideration went immediately to, like, how do we make sure that nobody loses their job during this time? And then the second consideration was, okay, now that this has happened, what does this mean for us as a festival? If we accept that this is the new normal, and that it may be a while before we get out of this new normal, and not just that, but there's no way to predict whether human beings will want to be together again after this pandemic. I mean, I think people will want to be together again, to be physically next to one another. I think that's a thing that will never be replaced, but it's impossible to predict how long it's going to take until people feel safe to be in public spaces. It really depends on, the scale of the pandemic in Kenya, in Uganda, in Africa. It depends on whether artists are able to travel. So there was all these considerations, and we just realized that we were really speaking to the darkness of the unknown. And so our question became, what is known now? What can we do with live streaming now? How can we deliver a music experience to consumers? And how can we really look to create incomes during this Corona time for artists? Because for us, the festival is very focused on artists, the discovery of artists, the growth of artists, the presentation of artists. So that was like one part of my brain. The other part of my brain went immediately to all the work that GR Hook and myself have put in so far. We have a project that we've been writing since 2019, last year, and we are ready, and in our planning, the project was coming out right before we went on our summer touring. So for me, there was an immediate question of, what does this mean for us as musicians, right? If you take out touring, what does that music model look like? How do we put out content? Really not content, it's really music. How do we put out our art in a time when the airwaves are saturated with sort of Corona and panic and hypothesis and fear? And so there was a question there, but it was, I feel like, immediately replaced by, but there is an opportunity now to share with audiences who we are, to share our hearts, to share our homes, to maybe take away some of this super cosmetic things that the music industry has sort of created around how artists and audiences should interact. And maybe we could just go directly to people who love us and say, here is something for you. And for people who don't know us, this is an opportunity to say, hi, welcome to the gang. And so, for me, it became just immediately learn the tools, learn how to, go live, how to make sure that the sound is good from the beginning, test it. So last Sunday we did a live concert on Instagram and on Facebook, and just seeing the reaction of people to that, and the cleanliness of the sound, and then sharing the information with all the artists in Nairobi so everybody can go live with good sound. So that became, I just went into go. And quite honestly, it took, I want to say 2 weeks into into the pandemic for me to start having the emotional breakdowns, right? So I think for me, the first one happened when our government put a curfew. So Kenya doesn't have a lockdown. We have stopped international flights and we have a curfew. So 7 p.m. to 5 a.m., you can't move. And the first night of the curfew, the government, the police forces were so excessive with the force that they used. I suppose somebody had told them that the strategy would be to scare people, like scare people so much on the first day that nobody is going to want to break curfew. But literally, Linda, people died from that night, from the police just being overly fucking excessive with the force that they were using and completely unnecessary. And so that night I decided to have the breakdowns because in a society like ours where there is so much inequality and so much poverty, the bulk of people, number one, rely on day-to-day jobs. So with schools closed, with bars, with restaurants, with hair salons, you know, any place sort of where communal activity happens, so many people are out of work, so many small businesses are struggling. And I think the first night of the curfew is when it really hit home for me what this is going to mean for families that have physical abusers, sexual predators. We're already seeing that they're saying now 35% of all crime that is being reported is rape. And knowing that there's no social services to support during this time, knowing that, you know, the health infrastructure has been neglected for years. So for sure, we're listening, everybody who can afford to stay at home is staying at home because we really get it as a society. We cannot afford, say, what's happened in Italy or in Spain or what's happening in America. Kenya literally cannot afford, you know, this outcome. We just can't afford it. We just don't have the infrastructure. And I think that a lot of people understand that, and a lot of people actually are cooperating with the government directives and, you know, wash your hands, social distancing, and flattening the curve, or making sure that we don't actually get a curve. So yeah, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. The work is helping, being focused, staying ready so we don't have to get ready. It's something that we've talked about with GR and Hook. It's like whatever we were meant to be doing right now, we have to continue, we have to stay on track. Now I'm in rehearsals to learn the music for the project that we finished producing, getting in shape physically so I'm able to perform that project, building relationships and networks. People that we've admired and wanted to just hang out with and have conversations and make music. That's the thing that we're doing now. And very importantly, building out our community, our online community, and like really becoming a real community, not just a Facebook page where you post events, right? So that's a long winded up and down. And I'm sure Greg and Hook have their own experience of this.
Well, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be on this for this long, but I have to jump off because you guys you're gonna carry on your show, right? And is that right?
Is that right?
I
was having a conversation with you today. We were having.
Was that? Oh, okay. I thought I was just introing you today because my son keeps coming in and out. I've already been with him for. He had to wait through my live show for an hour, and he was interrupting that. My life right now is I have my son all the time. There is no nanny. There's no person cleaning our home. There's no, you know, no chefs, no anybody like that. Not that we had chefs, but sometimes we have people deliver food, but or make us food. But right now I'm just like constantly with him. And I'm not gonna lie, it's been a struggle to try to be creative and try to work. And he's so awesome. Yeah, I honestly, I maybe I didn't hear that part, but I thought I was introing you and you're going to be, you had a show, but I guess you're telling me I am the show. Hi, son. But it's getting more complicated as we're going, keeping him entertained. Right now, he's running around dressed as Ursula. No, son, rude.
Mommy, but I don't want
That's what I'm dealing with. So guys, why don't you tell us what's going on? I'm gonna put you on mute so you guys don't hear him. And let's hear from Hook and GR what's going on with you guys during this time.
So on a very personal level, the situation is pretty cool. So I know there's a lot of drama happening in the world right now, but if I just take this terrible aspect out of my vision, the time is pretty cool because I come every day to the studio by foot, so it's a 40-minute walk to the studio. That's something that I've never done before this Corona time. So I'm getting in shape, just walking an hour and a half a day to go to the studio and come back home. I don't have a job for the moment, I'm working as a freelancer, and the place I'm working in sometimes is closed for the moment. So there's way less stress than before. And I've got the chance to have this studio that I can come by and work on some music. We've been here with GR for the last 2 weeks, keeping a certain social distance between us, even in the studio, trying to be as safe as possible. So yeah, I think all this time, at first it was a very like panicking. The when this pandemic started to hit Switzerland, the thing like it growed it it has grown very very fast in Switzerland. There was like a lot of people were not paying attention, and at first I was mad. I was mad as I was mad as much as I could be mad. I'm trying not to swear because my mom is saying that I'm very very vulgar, very rude. So I'm trying to behave now. So yeah, I was mad that people were not like taking that thing seriously, and just keeping having like they said they had like shutdown parties. So the government said, okay, on Sunday at midnight, everything will be shut down. So what's not necessary is going to be closed. And so all the bars and restaurant and things like this are going to be shut down at midnight. So people were having house parties, uh, and that like made the pandemic very grow grow a lot at this very moment, because people were not paying attention, people were not safe, and were not taking that thing seriously. So I was really angry. At first I was angry at this pandemic because like I thought people were really reacting stupidly to that, and not safe, and not they were like there was something. It's a bit weird because I had to work on that, but like being alone was uh being was being wait yeah being by yourself was meaning being in solidarity with the rest of the world. So you had to be on your own to be part of the solution, and it's a bit of a mind trick to see the point of that. Like when I'm not with people, it's actually I'm working with them to fight that pandemic. So that was weird to think of at first. But then the first week of the pandemic in Switzerland was a bit hard for me. I was also having a mental hard time. I was tired, I was stressed, and so when it hit, the first days were hard because I was like, yeah, but what's happening? I was scared with the consequences of that pandemic. And after a few days, I don't know, I had a kind of illumination, and I had a huge sense of let go. I let everything go, and I was like, okay, so here's what I'm doing now. I'm walking to the studio, I'm exercising, I'm doing music. I just like, that's cool. Let's get into I was getting into my own rhythm of life, saying I don't put any alarm clock in the morning. I wake up when I wake up, and I just eat, go to the studio, make music, do things, and that's perfect. Actually, I'm really grateful that I can experience that, not having the pressure of work, not having the pressure of meetings, things like this, and it's all right. I'm right now. I'm a really good mindset, and so I'm really grateful that I can experience that. But of course, then with the social distancing, I'm missing my friend. I'm missing my family. I haven't seen them like in weeks now. But I'm also pretty close with them by phone, and that's cool that we can have all this technology to get in touch with people we love. So actually, I'm not that concerned. I'm not like, nobody in my circle has been worried with Corona shit. So I'm grateful for that.
Hook,
Yeah.
I think we should surprise Linda.
Yeah, I think that's the
Linda,
moment.
Linda, we have a surprise for you.
You have a surprise for me?
Yeah,
Is it a
but wait,
birthday
first,
cake? It's not my birthday. What is it?
so wait. So as Hook said, there's been a lot of time to do studio, much more than we usually have. And we knew we were going to be on this call with you. And oh my God, obviously, I mean, you know what you've done for human beings, for humanity, for artistry, for the LGBTQ.
Q. I know. This is gonna be F, H, and J next week.
So yeah, you're an icon. You're an icon proper. And so we took something that you made with your whole heart, and we twisted it, and I recorded the voice on WhatsApp, and I sent it to Greg and Hook, because I can't go to studio, and
Right.
I'm still figuring out how to record my voice. And it's just a draft, but I hope you like it.
Oh God, I can't wait. Oh, so you're
Okay.
doing a version of What's Up?
Yes. Okay, so yeah, so we did,
mute.
yes, so we did our own interpretation, and we kept the angst, but we want to hear what you say. Okay, let's hit it. And Hook, please share your screen.
Thinking about all the time you wasted. Gave you all my love, but my love is wasted. Been through it all for your love. I've been through it all for your love. All the promises, all the plans we made. No keeping up with the lies you say. Keeping me up in the dark. You said that nothing would tear us apart. So I cry sometimes when I'm lying in bed, just to let it all out once in my head. And now I'm feeling a little peculiar. Hey, and I wait till morning, then I step outside, and I take a deep breath, and I get real high, and I scream from the top of my lungs, what's going on? Hey,
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Linda.
Sorry, I was on mute. That's so great how you changed that melody. I loved, I mean, I didn't know what to expect what was happening, but that is a great rendition of it, because what I love that you did, you totally changed it. You know how sometimes people just play the song in a different way, you know, maybe slower, maybe change the chords a little bit, but that's a completely reapproach, and I love it. And it went perfectly in with your verse. That's super cool. Wow, when did you do that?
Today.
Today?
Yeah.
We started 2 days ago. Yeah, on Saturday
Yeah,
we started.
yeah, you said that you made the beat on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then I wrote the first part, and then so I took the and then I couldn't finish it because it didn't connect clearly, because for me this was the interpretation, and I was speaking with Greg and Hook on the what's going on. There's a clear angst there, and that angst is being addressed.
Right.
And in your version, at least my understanding as a fan, is just kind of like this quarter life. It was written in a quarter life crisis, kind of like, I'm 25, I've been going, when does my shit get together? What the fuck is actually happening here in this life? You know, I try so hard in the institution, and it's like, I wonder what that could be. It's not marriage, but it could be life. It could be the social setup. It could be, I imagine, you know, when the song was written, there wasn't as much space, for example, for gay and lesbian people in the world. I wonder if it could all be these straight jackets. My point is, I took from it, it's like this angst of this straight jacket and shit just not working. And just going out and being like, what the fuck, life? You know, what's going on? So we wanted to keep this angst. And I feel it's like right now, the universe, I mean, Mother Nature, she's told everybody, sit at home and think about that shit that you've done to me.
Yeah, Mother Nature.
Exactly.
Mother
And
Gothel.
Not Mother
and-
Gothel, Mother Nature. Yeah.
we wanted to keep
Nature is Mother
we wanted to keep we
her
wanted to
little
make that the protagonist, and then say give that assume it to be a love story, and the love story really should be with these human beings who occupy this earth, but instead of like treating it with kindness and with respect, it's you've treated like shit. So this is actually a really bad relationship that Mother Earth is in with us, and she's just like, enough, dude.
Yeah.
I'm done with the lies.
That's
So,
great. I love it. Are you going to finish it and then release it?
yeah. We're gonna finish it, and then we'll
and
we'll
then
gift
release it.
to
Hello.
you, and then we'll gift it to you,
Yeah.
and then
You'll make a video and then we'll release it. One of the things a lot of people don't know is that, so when I wrote that song, I was 24, but 25 sounded better. And then
Indeed.
25 years sounded
No.
better. And I was in San Francisco, and I was in this band and starving. I couldn't work a regular job. It just wasn't in my nature to do that. I tried, but I couldn't. And for some reason, decided to get a puppy. I had no food to feed myself. Why did I have this puppy? And so I'm in this room that I had, and all I have in this room is a bed, just a mattress on the floor, some bags filled with clothes, my hat and my guitar, and this puppy. And my roommate was the bass player in the band, and she was with her girlfriend in the other room, and they're literally having sex. I can hear it. It's like, ugh. And so and then my puppy is jumping all over me. I have fleas all over my room. And I just picked up the guitar and I started writing this song. Thank you, my son. You have that one. And that song just came out like out of nowhere, like everything, the melody, the lyrics. I was frustrated with the government. I was a punk rocker, always just a rebel. And that's where that song came from. And, but I knew when I wrote it that it was going to be a really important song. And I actually tried to leave it off of our first album, the Four Non Blondes album, because I knew the song would overpower us. And people wouldn't look at us as a real band, because the song would just be so huge that we would not be looked at as an artistic, real band. And when I presented that we leave the song off of the Bigger, Better, Faster, More album, the label as well as the band thought I was on drugs, and Um,
going crazy.
and going crazy. And I got outvoted, but I knew the song did exactly what I thought it would do. I'm super flattered. Thank you, especially from an artist that I admire and think that, I mean, literally, I thought about you. And, you know, there's those times where, you know, you have these like big artists in your life that are playing these huge arenas that everybody wants to know and they want tickets to that show. I literally feel like We Are Here has an in the clock, like we have that artist that everybody's going to want to come see. Everybody's going to want me to hook them up with. Like we have that artist sitting right here. And the fact that you did that version, thank you, you guys. I really appreciate it. It's an honor that you took the time to do that and that you actually had the heart and felt the emotion to do something like that. So I deeply appreciate it. And I'm gonna have to sign off now, but this was a really, I mean, I honestly, I thought I was just introing you to be 45 minutes or whatever, an hour talking to you guys was absolutely an honor. And I look forward to your next show that you're going to be doing. And thank you so much. Muthoni, Drummer Queen, everybody, please go check her out, and GR and Hook for the incredible inventive productions you guys are doing. Really, really stellar. You should watch out because people are going to start copying you guys and you will be the it. So, oh, Muthoni, you're going to know as soon as you break huge, they're going to go after, everybody's going to go after those guys. You're not going to be able to covet them. And, you know, everybody's going to be going to you as the new hit guys to go to, as everybody always does. So be prepared. Thank you, Muthoni, Drummer Queen, Hook, GR, and everybody watching this segment. Please look for more Muthoni, Drummer Queen, and What's Up with Linda Perry tomorrow at 12 p.m. We'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Mommy,
Say bye.
bye. Just to let you know, I don't really like what you say. What's up with Linda Perry?